You would think with the release of not one, but 2 documentaries based on the Fyre Festival, it would be a fitting end to the entire saga. A nice pin to put in the whole thing so we could just move on and put it all behind us. Wrong.
Nope.
But at least everything going on in the aftermath of these docs has been pretty positive and has, at the very least, brought in a lot more eyeballs to the problems that this whole thing caused.
Yeah, last week we spoke about how one of the women featured in the documentary who had gone into severe debt after getting stiffed by Billy McFarland and Ja Rule's con job was able to raise enough money through GoFundMe to make up for her losses.
Yeah.
That's nice. We obviously thought that this charity event was fantastic, but that we were, still a bit pissed that it was up to the kindness of strangers to set things right and not the people responsible for the whole thing. Anyway, now, on the heels of that one, there's yet another GoFundMe that's popped up, this time with the goal of helping out the local workers who sacrificed their time setting up the whole festival before it came crashing down on everyone. Working 18-hour days in the hot sun.
For nothing.
With the promise that this was gonna, revitalize their community. Yeah, you really fucked a lot of people over, Billy. Ja.
So this new GoFundMe is called Exuma Foundation for the Locals Impacted by Fire, and it has the lofty goal of raising $400,000 for the locals affected by this festival. The description for it reads, "To help our community and fill the need to get funds directly to Exuma, we have set up this account to benefit the victims of the Fyre Festival. We will establish a strict and fair process for distribution of funds to the local people who were financially affected." And so far, it just launched, but the fund has raised around $14,000. Hopefully everyone's not already burnt out on their wallets from helping the first person.
Yeah.
And maybe fuck Jerry and Jerry Media can come around to this. Did you see the thing online where it was like, we actually, that we donated to this woman, but we actually lost a lot of money after putting in effort for all this. And everyone online was like, you mean kind of how you just took everyone's jokes and memes and profited off of them for years?
Yeah, I really like it. It feels like 2015 when everyone was shaming the fat Jewish, just constantly. All the comedy Twitter is just shitting on fuck Jerry, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was because they, it all started up again because fuck Jerry Media was used to promote the new season of Broad City on Comedy Central, and they did it in the traditional format of looking like a stolen meme with the credit cut off the top.
Yep. Oh, also,
not a good look.
Also, Exuma, I was speculating on Weekly Weird News, but it is in fact where John McAfee is right now. It's the same island as Firefest. So, local Exuma workers,
keep an eye out.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, look out for John McAfee.
Yes. Well, I'm sure that'll lead to more interesting stories.
Anyways, over on the lawsuit side of Fyre Festival things, there's still an active investigation regarding the bankruptcy of Fyre Festival LLC from its investors who desperately want to know where the hell the $26 million that was funneled into the company ended up. Where's the money, Billy? It's now being reported that the models and influencers who were paid to promote the festival, they could be getting subpoenas real soon as the courts are they're just trying to figure this all out.
Where is this goddamn money?
It's a big pile of shit that Billy McFarland and Ja Rule dropped on the U.S. legal system.
Meanwhile, Ja Rule, just fine.
I think he's gonna get what's coming to him.
Well, you never know.
Anyway, among those influencers, most notably Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, Emily Ratajkowski, and I guess technically Soulja Boy counts as an influencer, but he's more connected than that. But also the agencies who rep them, they might all have to hand over financial documents relating to their promotion of the festival through social media and the now infamous trailer that was complete bullshit that sold a bunch of wealthy partygoers a lie so that they could cough up exorbitant amounts of money to attend a doomed festival that didn't happen.
Anyway, speaking of famous people related to this whole disaster, though, there's someone involved who didn't reach superstardom until well after the dust had settled on this whole thing. Yes, we're talking about the guy who almost sucked dick for water. To be a little more specific...
Yeah, which one?
We're talking about Andy King, a producer for the Fyre Festival who was tasked with making the whole thing happen, to the best of his ability, despite
He
everything
gave
going wrong.
110%.
And you know what that 10% was? Almost sucking dick.
A blowjob.
Now, if you've seen the Netflix doc, then you already know the story, but at some point during the lead up to the festival's opening weekend, there was a little bit of a problem with the local government. The Fire Festival people, they couldn't pay the taxes on importing a ton of Evian water that they'd purchased for the guests.
Yeah, so the solution, the one that Billy McFarland, genius, wonderkind
Yeah.
businessman, personally came up with was he called up Andy King there and he said something to the effect of, "You're our wonderful gay leader and we need you to go down to customs. Will you suck dick to fix this water problem?" That's the way Andy described it. And by God, the man was willing to do it. Mm-hmm. According to the doc, he took a shower, downed some mouthwash, and went down to the customs office to, quote, take one for the team.
In the mouth.
So this is a guy you want in your foxhole.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it turns out he didn't have to actually do that, and it's weird and kind of unexplained why Billy McFarland thought that it was something
going to
that
help.
needed to be done.
He would. The whole time I'm just going, did the customs officer say he wanted a blowjob, or did Billy just assume this?
Because, like,
how about we get you a blowjob?
I feel like most heterosexual people, when they're owed money or anything, if you offer them a blowjob, they're going to be like, no. Why would I want that?
No, go away. Give me the money that you owe me for all the taxes. That's
Anyway.
an import fee. What are you talking about?
What are you just...
And like it was in the other scenario, is the customs officer like, I'm gay and I want you to find me a gay man to suck my dick.
Yeah,
and Billy's like, hold on.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, no.
all.
I would love to hear the story of what actually happened from, I don't know, the customs officer or Billy.
Yeah, there's continues to be questions unanswered about this whole fiasco. Anyway, turns out that Andy, he didn't have to do it. The customs officer, who was probably just in a state of shock and awe that someone would even consider doing such a thing, just said, hey, here's your fucking water, just pay me my goddamn taxes as soon as possible and get the hell out of my office.
It was about the taxes the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, since this whole story is so fucking ridiculous, it became one of the most notable parts of the doc, and it turned Andy King into a social media celebrity overnight, spawning ridicule, admiration, praise, scorn, and most of all, countless memes relating to the story, providing Evian with their catchphrase, Evian water, so good, you'll suck a dick for it.
It's weird. But anyways, how does Andy King feel about all this newfound notoriety? Well, Netflix decided to bring him back in front of the lens once again and just straight up ask him about it. First of all, Andy King doesn't use social media, and up until this point in his life, he had no clue what a meme was, even adorably mispronouncing it the way a grandparent would.
Memes?
And then someone corrected me and said, no, it's a meme. But anyways, thanks to some real life interaction, he was informed from someone that he knew that he'd actually become a hero online. And to his credit, he's taken the whole thing extremely well. And he says that he's blown away by the response to the doc, adding, quote, I'm now a noun, a verb, an adjective. He apparently appreciates that so many people are finding happiness because of his part of the doc, but also says, I just don't want to be necessarily known as the blowjob king of the world.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah.
This man, I don't know, he's probably in his, around 50?
50s,
Had a
60s.
whole career of facilitating probably some big deals. And yeah, after he it makes sense that he would want to be known for something a little more respectable.
Oh, I don't know if people consider LinkedIn a social network, but he is probably swimming in endorsements right now.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't know what his relationship status is, but guys, he sucks dick. Anyway, Andy's also been helping with and promoting both the GoFundMes that we mentioned earlier, so good for him.
Yeah.
Again, a fucking saint. A
fact
man who deserved better.
The fact that someone that worked internally on this is coming out like a shining star with little to no scorn from the people online and people in the communities, that's the best you could hope for.
Yeah, I thought he came out looking good, and then the guy with the man bun who was the event planner / yoga instructor, I thought he came out looking pretty okay.
The guy who was fired by having the audacity to say that they should just put it on a cruise ship and then cart people back and forth.
The Dutch pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy,
Who also learned how to fly with a flight simulator.
Apparently they're very realistic nowadays.
Anyways, let's talk about bad stuff real quick, because while we were filming yesterday's Tech News Day video, which, by the way, features a familiar face rejoining the show, if only for an episode, there was even more news coming out about a feature that Facebook was actually paying people to use and was a huge security risk.
Oh.
This stems from an investigation by TechCrunch, who looked into a VPN app Facebook was pushing called Facebook Research. Users who were aged 13 to 35 were offered $20 per month plus referral fees for downloading and installing the app on their phones, which would allow Facebook to, quote, suck in all of a user's phone and web activity. Yikes.
What could go wrong? Yeah, the article goes on to say that this app was similar to one from Facebook that Apple had already banned last year. I remember that, yeah.
That's pretty much the same thing.
Forgot about that. So yeah, they actually had to sidestep the App Store entirely to even get it to consumers. Always a good sign.
Let's just not tell Apple about this one.
APK. Fuck. So once a user had the app downloaded and had signed up for the service, they would then give Facebook Research root access to their phone. No, don't do it. So they could, quote, decrypt and analyze their phone activity, and in some cases would apparently ask users to screenshot their Amazon order history page. I mean, that's the least of...
Yeah, I mean, that's just like, hey, what are you buying?
Whatever, sure. But anyway, for their reporting, TechCrunch asked a security expert to dig into this app, and here's what he had to say. If Facebook makes full use of the level of access they are given by asking users to install the certificate, they will have the ability to continuously collect the following types of data: private messages in social media apps, chats from instant messaging apps, including photos and videos sent to others, emails, web searches, web browsing activity, and even ongoing location information by tapping into the feeds of any location tracking apps that you may have installed. So it's basically...
So to clarify there, imagine handing Mark Zuckerberg and his team your phone and just being like, go nuts.
Yeah, $20. Totally worth it.
And they'll give you $20 a month for it.
Not a good deal. Don't do it.
So I'd also like to point out that imagine that. This information was so valuable to Facebook that they were paying $20 a month for it, which means it's way more valuable than that.
This is reckless. This is something an addict does. Facebook is addicted to data.
Yeah.
They got to get their fix, no matter how shady a means they have to do it.
And it's just like, I mean, to their credit, I guess they've come a long way, baby, on security and encryption stuff. But I still would not trust anything like this. I couldn't think of you're handing over full access to your phone. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then, like, by proxy, I would assume that everything that you said to other people, it's technically tracking them as well, because they have the information for what. So if you have someone labeled mom and you're talking with your mom about stuff and like, hey, how's your day going? Big birthday coming up.
How would this even work in a two-party consent state?
I have no idea. But what I would imagine is it's like they're now tracing that and could put an identity to that. So in theory, they would push ads for like, hey, we know it's your dad's birthday coming up because you and your mom are talking about it. So we're going to push your mom an ad for the, like, it goes so much further than the base level, and that's what's even scarier.
Come on, Mark.
And the base level is real scary.
Yeah,
So God. I don't know, if for whatever reason you have the app, get rid of it. What the hell are you doing?
Come on, you're smarter than that.
7 hours after the report was published, Facebook finally announced that they would be shutting down the iOS version of the app, but Apple had already beat them to the punch once they found out about it, so that was banned.
Yeah, this is fucking malware.
The app still exists on Android though, so just avoid it. And once again, just take our advice and delete Facebook entirely.
Get rid of it.
But if you still want to be shocked and appalled by the tech world and would love to see Phil Arrigo and his rap facts back again to tear into the tech industry,
Facebook specifically.
Yeah, it's another
It's like every fucking week, Facebook has multiple stories about just like how terrible they are.
Also,
it's incredible.
Also, this was offered to 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
for $20 a month too.
Facebook has fucking child porn on their servers. I guarantee it.
Yes,
and these 13-year-olds with their little iPhone X's, they're taking pictures of their dicks.
Oh yeah.
And then Mark's bringing them into Facebook HQ. Why don't you have a seat?
That could be a big problem. I mean, this just broke yesterday,
Jesus
I don't know
Christ.
about the consequences of it or how severe it is, but it seems like it would be a really big problem.
Yeah.
A big problem. You give it. Imagine you just found out. Imagine. Okay, we'll get to what to watch. But imagine like you're a parent. Some of you are. Not hard to imagine. But imagine like you find out that this has been happening, and then you're like, you go on your kid's phone, and they have the app. Like imagine that your kid was making money from Facebook every month and had given them root access to their phone.
Yeah, that's.
I'd be calling up Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey, Mark, stay away from my kids.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdo.
Yeah, get out of my kid's phone, you fucking weirdo. Anyways, you want to see Phil Arrigo talk about Facebook. He's in yesterday's Tech News Day. Also, check out Monday's episode where we talk about Epic Games taking a swipe at the Steam store. And if you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon or become a member by clicking the join button under the video on YouTube. Links for Patreon are down below. Other than that, hey, try to have a good time in this dystopian technological future that we're apparently being forced to live in, and that's it. Bye.
Bye-bye.